Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the Tiny Brains podcast. I am Kevin Joyce, CEO at Tiny Brains, and with me I have Peter Graham, the Brigadier of Brains. Say hello, Peter.
Hello.
So, every week, what we do on this podcast is we talk about the biggest stories in XR from the previous week and have a little chat. That's it, really. So, let's dive straight in. This week, we've got some big hardware news, some kind of unexpected hardware news as well.
Yes. PICO had been teasing over the last week or so that they were going to announce a brand new headset, and now it's been sort of kind of leaked, or yeah, no, they haven't officially announced it. It was the PICO 4 Ultra. Now, this is going to be officially launched in China on the 20th of August, and that is about all we know.
And now this is the same Pico who said they were done with consumer headsets, announcing that they're going to launch a consumer headset very soon. I'm a little confused here, but that's great. I really like the Pico headsets. They are a close approximation of the Quest headsets at a close approximation of the price. Typically, we don't know the price of the Pico 4 Ultra. Is 4 Ultra or 4 Ultra S or something, or whatever it is?
No, yeah, I've seen it as PICO 4 Ultra. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we don't know the price yet. And we also don't know when it's going to be shipping internationally. At the moment, it's only China. It's been announced for, which of course is a market that the Quest isn't technically available in. I say technically because you can get Quests in China, but not through official channels. So yeah, good luck to Pico. Glad to see you are doing consumer hardware again when you said you weren't. But hey, who am I to judge?
Yeah. What it's going up against though, I don't know. I don't know whether is it going to be the Quest 3 rival? Is it going to be higher spec than that? You know, with Ultra in its name, you would expect like better displays, some sort of fancy features in there, wouldn't you?
I mean, whenever I hear the word Ultra, I just think of Nintendo's early advertising for the Ultra 64, which
Oh
was
my
brilliant.
life. You
Show
old
my age for
man.
them. Anyway, moving on, we have some sad news now. Archiact is a studio that has been around since about the same time I started in VR back in 2013. And yeah, it's a studio that was consistently putting out decent quality, not always incredible games, but decent quality games for VR at a minimum, and always pushing boundaries. They were deeply involved in establishing the rule set for the medium uh, a decade ago on the DK2 and the CV1, and sadly, that's not going to be the case anymore.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shame, but they announced via social media that all the staff had been given 2 weeks' notice. So they'll officially shut their doors on the 26th of August. So it's a bit of a
It's a
shame
sad,
for them.
sad day. Another casualty of the current trend of the industry right now. Obviously, we're seeing studios close across the spectrum of gaming, and VR has been hit quite significantly. So hopefully, everyone out there that has been working for Archiact, hopefully you land on your feet and find something new. If you're a studio that is currently hiring, there is a wealth of talent now in the market. So please do reach out to these people and let's see what we can do.
Yes, definitely so. You know, when you consider the likes of PlayStation London and is it First Contact Entertainment, there's been a few big ones that have shuttered their doors. So yeah, hopefully they can find more work.
So moving on to another company that has been in VR for a long time, Roto VR. And this is a new thing that I don't really know much about. I know a lot about Roto, but this new device, tell me about it, Peter.
Yeah, so well, if you don't know about Roto VR, they're a British company that makes an interactive chair, as such, when you call it, Kev. It was basically it would connect to your headset and it would spin around and vibrate to action sequences. And they've just announced their newest version, which looks like it's going to be far more consumer oriented, the Roto VR Explorer. This is going to go on sale for 799, which is already available on their website. The interesting thing, though, is that as they class it as the next generation VR gaming chair, but more interestingly, been made in partnership with Meta. So it's actually the first VR chair that we know of that's been made under the Made for Meta program. So It's compatible with a range of games at the moment, things like Asgard's Wrath 2, Assassin's Creed, Population 1, and a myriad of others. So
The game that I have seen promoting it heavily is Dig VR, which
yes,
is
Dig's coming
interesting.
out in October.
Yeah. So you're driving a big digger, a dump truck, or whatever, and yeah, you're sat in the chair in the pilot seat. Have at it. I think it looks good.
Yeah, yeah. There are lots of different locomotion hardware systems out there. So for people that maybe don't have the mobility to use like an omnidirectional treadmill, something like the Roto VR chair, is a great
Well,
idea.
as I say, Roto's been around a long time,
Yeah.
and originally it was designed for PC VR cabled headsets, and it had cable management systems and whatever else. But since the advent of standalone headsets, there was a question: was there still room for these kind of things in the market? Now, obviously, good old Roto have found a way. So yeah, I wish them all the best.
Yeah, definitely.
So we normally end this podcast with a bit of gaming news, but this week we have two. One which is great and one which is very not great. Which one should we go first, Pete?
Well, I think we go with the not great one because it was kind of expected, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, about time we heard something, right? It's just a
Well,
shame we heard the wrong thing.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So the news is, for those of you who aren't aware yet, that GTA San Andreas, which was announced 2 years ago, I believe,
No, 2021 came out.
2021, 3 years ago, by Meta, was announced by Meta as a VR edition that rebuilt from the ground up for VR, was coming for Quest headsets. We heard that announcement. We heard nothing since until
What this last week when IGN got an email from Meta saying that GTA San Andreas has been on hold indefinitely now. And the reason that they gave for it was very brief, is that they're focusing on other projects. So
I mean, after the poor performance of the GTA trilogy, the GTA 3 trilogy, which did have San Andreas in it, delivering for consoles and was uh, you know absolutely ripped apart by the Rockstar audience. Is it much of a surprise that this one wasn't going to happen? You're going for a niche audience with an expensive project, and Rockstar hasn't delivered on these kind of remaster remake things thus far. The road was always rocky for this one, right?
yeah, yeah, we were, there was a kind of expectation that it would be released around the same window as GTA 6, really, to try and take some of that glow from it, but obviously not.
Personally, I think they would have been better doing a trimmed down port of GTA 5. Personally, would have been easier. Um, but there you go. But the good news, finally, this one has not been cancelled despite being in development for a long time.
Yes. Uh, Skydance's Behemoth. So Skydance Games announced Behemoth originally, as it was called, a couple of years ago. I think 2022 it was announced. It was then supposed to launch at the end of 2023. It got pushed back by a year, and now they've confirmed a launch date, which is 14th of November. So there's not too long to wait now.
Yeah, it's only a few months. Wave goodbye to summer and roll on Behemoth. That's the plan, right?
Yes, exactly. Well, these are the guys that made The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. So they do have a good track record. The first game was really good. The second game was okay. So everyone's really looking forward to this, which is the official title is Skydance's Behemoth, and you're essentially in a kind of like a medieval fantasy world where you're hacking and slashing against normal size enemies, and then there are some massive behemoths to fight, huge mountain-sized, monsters that you've got to try and take down. So, and it's actually going to be on display at Gamescom this week.
Wonderful. So if you're going, make sure you give that a try, and also check out our clients that are there. I'm sure we will post about who we have at Gamescom somewhere. But if you haven't already reached out to try their titles, please do. Pete and I are contactable on every channel you can possibly imagine. And we'll welcome you contacting us to discuss any of these stories or any other stories, or the fact that you're at Gamescom and you're loving it. That would be wonderful. We'd love to hear from you. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I'm off to go enjoy Alien Romulus now ahead of Alien Rogue Incursion, which we also got a date for. Just saying. Yeah, we'll see you all next week.
Catch you later.